Donald Trump has upped India's tariffs to a steep 50% with 25% tariff penalty due to India's trade with Russia. Amid this, Prime Minister Modi has held a high-level meeting to discuss the ramifications and India's response. And now joining us is Aleksei Zakharov, a fellow at the ORF. Aleksei, what do you make of Donald Trump's behavior with India?
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Well, that's a very significant step, of course, that Donald Trump decided to introduce additional tariffs on Indian export. I think that there are many things unclear at the moment because there are some exemptions with regard to certain products, particularly the pharmaceutical products and electronics, which make, the main products for Indian exports to the United States. So it remains to be seen whether these products will eventually be subject to additional duties or not. But anyway, I think that it's a very unpleasant step in terms of the India-US relationship and the trust that existed there. At the same time, I think that India has issues with President Trump himself, while the US-India relations remain rather steady and even successful when it comes to defense partnership, for instance, or space cooperation. We've seen some good examples recently. So I think that the relationship is still steady, and given that the latest tariffs will be effective from 27th of August, I think there is sufficient time to resolve this crisis through negotiations.
And could you tell us more about the significance of Russian President Putin's upcoming visit to India?
Yes, this visit was in the pipeline for some time. I think that the preparations began from the beginning of the year, but there is still some uncertainty with regard to the specific dates of the visit. It is possible that President Putin and Prime Minister Modi can meet on the sidelines of the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit, which will take place in China at the end of August. But of course, it would be very important to hold a separate, full-fledged bilateral summit in New Delhi. And I think that it will happen by the end of the year, maybe in November, December. I think that the visits, the exchanges of visits, the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is in Moscow, and there is a trip by External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, which is scheduled for the end of August. I think these meetings indicate that the preparations for the summit are in full swing, and the two sides try to elaborate on the agenda, on the items of bilateral cooperation that can be implemented when the two leaders will meet by the end of the year.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and obviously sharing your insights on that story. But